Where are the elementary kids?
I know it. Kamel, how have you been?
I've been doing wonderful. Just missing you guys. I've been recouping from a surgery. So thank all the listeners and you guys for being patient with me. I can't wait to be back in the studio and back at work. But yes, I am glad to just be on with you guys. Friday is not the same without Next Stop Mississippi.
I know it. So I was like, let me get him on via Zoom so we can at least see his face, Java. We at least need to see his face.
Yeah, your presence has been missed, brother, but we're glad you're here today.
Yeah, well, I've got a show. I've got a show for you, Kamel. I mean, I've got something stacked up for you, make you feel better. What'd you say? I can't hear you anymore.
I think when he tries to make his signature noises.
Is he squealing? I don't think so.
Zoom is
okay. Now you're back.
Zoom is hating on my noises, so I'm just gonna keep it toned down, simmer down a little bit.
I see. Zoom can't take that tone. Zoom can't take that tone. Okay, Kamel, tell us what you've been up to. What do you have going on once you get back? You got a full slate?
Oh, yes, very full. We have so many markers that are going up. I tell you, it is crazy. And I tell you, one of those that we are very excited about, Jesse Guitar Man Robinson, who is a blues legend, played with B.B. King, an icon who is there at Hal & Mal's Blue Monday. Every Monday and also plays on Fridays, but he is well-renowned. He's getting a marker. Clinton, Mississippi, Grits and Gravy is getting a marker. And there are a whole host of, with country music, we've got Bobby Jean Emmons, Billy Ray Reynolds, Bobby Wood, Lloyd Green, just so many legends who are going to be memorialized and probably about 20 more with the Freedom Trail. So we are very busy.
That's good stuff. Come on now. Visit Mississippi. Everybody's you know what I noticed, Java? Everybody is the busiest, and I think we all here in the state just wait on the weather to break, but it's like September through December.
Because you can step outside.
What?
June, July, August. Please protect yourself and stay hydrated. But now, September, October's coming, we can get outside.
Yeah, we can get outside now, and everybody's getting outside. And speaking of getting outside, I am so excited to get outside tomorrow because I'm getting outside to the Mississippi Book Festival during their 10th year anniversary. And then I'm getting outside in a different kind of way at this book festival because I've attended the past 6 years. And then this year I am attending in the capacity of moderator of a panel.
You're moderating alongside luminaries such as, LeVar
Burton. Thanks, Kamel. I see you giving the fist pump, but yes, I am moderating a panel, the Mississippi Culture Panel. It'll be 2:45 to 3:45 p.m. inside of the Capitol building. And this panel is great. I think it was just made for me. Last year's moderator was none other than Marshall Ramsey for this panel.
Okay.
And I'm just excited to step into some big shoes and get in there and be a moderator of a beautiful panel. So I cannot wait. And then I've started reading again, not stealing books. I didn't have to steal books this time, Java and Kamel.
Like you admitted to Shad White.
Yeah, I didn't have to steal these books. They gave me these books for free. So I have read 4 books that will be part of the Mississippi Culture Panel. Those books include Raphael's Men by Joe Lee. It's the story of Coach Bill Raphael from the St. Richard Catholic School that used to be in Jackson, Mississippi, that's now in Madison, Mississippi. And just his impact on the players during the 50s and the 60s when he was out there with them, it was unmatched and unparalleled. So that book is a beautiful book. Also, one of the books that we've got on the slate for the panel is A Guide to Mississippi Museums. This is by Diane Williams and Rochelle Putnam with a foreword by Malcolm White. And this guide is definitely going to be my co-host of the panel because they are going to help guide everybody to where they can find more information about some of the cities and some of the topics and some of the people that are that will be discussed during our panel session. And then we have got Lawrence Wells, ghostwriter, Shakespeare literary landmines, and an eccentric patron's royal obsession. And Lawrence Wells was actually he was commissioned to write this book. So that it was commissioned by, I'm not going to say that, he was commissioned and hired by the wealthy eccentric donor, which was Mrs. F. And Mrs. F wanted him to write this book because she felt like that she was convinced that Edward de Vere, the 17th Earl of Oxford, was William Shakespeare, and that she was the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth I. That's Miss Gertrude Ford.
Well, all right.
And so Miss Gertrude Ford had him commissioned for that book. And then the book that I'm going to introduce now, I told Josh and Ryan, don't tell anybody that this was my favorite book. But Wicked Mississippi by Ryan, and tell me if I'm saying Ryan's last name wrong. Kamel, you ready?
I'm ready. Come on now. Enunciate.
Right. Ryan Starrett?
Starrett.
Okay. Ryan Starrett. Because he likes to stare at words. Okay, we'll do that. Ryan Starrett and Josh Foreman with a foreword by Sarah Fowler. Wicked Mississippi is definitely, I like books that are short, like short Reader's Digest type books where you can kind of ingest short stories. And this is very much the Reader's Digest of some of the craziness that has gone down in the state from the beginning of time, before the state was the state, and now till this day. And it includes stories that I'm connected to. And Java and Kamel, y'all jump in if this is something that y'all have heard before too. One of the stories was the Pole Folk sniper attack of 1996. Do you remember any of that, Kamel?
Oh, most definitely. First of all, it was one of the most tragic and craziest things I had seen in my life. I was, 15, 16 at the time, and just watching that on TV and watching it all go down. And Po Folks, for the youngsters who have never heard of Po Folks, it was a restaurant staple for Jackson. I mean, right up there on the hill off of Ellis, the best freaking biscuits you could ever have in your life, the best bread, the best food. But I mean, I remember watching it and the people passing and it burning to the ground. It was very tragic.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember vividly.
Yeah. Pamela Berry Johnson, friend of mine, friend of the show. She has actually met us down at Cruising the Coast last year while we were down there during autocorrect. And she was one of the people who was shot. She was a reporter at the time for the Clarion Ledger, and she was shot in the neck, and she survived, of course. But once I met her and found out her story, Pam and I were just like, we were locked together like peas and carrots. And so I am really connected to that. But they have a whole bunch of these in this book. And I want to go ahead and introduce Josh, because Josh is in with us on behalf of both of the authors. Josh, congratulations on just putting together such a beautiful work.
Thank you for having me.
Of art.
Germaine.
I mean, y'all did amazing on this book.
Thank you very much.
Where did the inspiration come from? When did you and Ryan sit down and was like, listen, I mean, we've traded enough of these stories back and forth. I actually got to learn about Nellie Jackson and the Natchez Bordello earlier this year when we went to Natchez for our antique showcase. And it's so much where people just kind of kick back. You get into these cities, and you start telling these stories. When did you and Josh sit down on wanting to put this together?
Well, Ryan and I, we've been
writing. I
writing.
mean, Ryan. I'm gonna call you Ryan, and then I'm gonna call him Josh.
Represent Ryan
yeah,
here.
That's fine.
Yeah, we've been writing about Mississippi since about 2017. We wrote Hidden History of Jackson. That was our first time writing together. And we write every year about different places in Mississippi. And we had Ryan loves Dante's Inferno and those books.
Me too.
Yes.
I read that whole thing too. Oh, you did too as well, Kamel?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And he had the idea to structure a book about the 7 deadly sins, but focus it all on Mississippi. And we pitched it to the History Press, who publishes our books, and they went for it. So that's where the idea came from.
That's awesome.
And then I started asking my family members and my friends, hey, what wicked stories should we put in the book? And, Ryan and I, we usually write about half the book each.
Yeah.
So, Ryan found his stories that he liked, and I found my stories that I liked. And
y'all put them together.
started putting them together.
So, yeah, this book, Kamel Java, it all focuses, it's broken down into, I would call them big chapters, and then they have the small stories in them. But the Po Folk sniper attack in 1996 is under the Pride, 7 deadly sin. And then you've got envy, you've got wrath, sloth, greed, gluttony, and lust. And so all of those are in the book, and I just love it. I want to talk about a couple of my standouts. The Sodden Stories from Mississippi's Dry Age, 1908 to 1966. This is under the gluttony category. And it's so interesting to me because I remember when we moved here in 1995 and we moved to Rankin County, and it was a dry county. And I remember my dad always having to go over the line to go to the liquor store, And then finally, once Dogwood had gotten built out there, they started loosening up, and then we became a wet county. But there is a story in here that happened in 1966. And it involves some elites at the Jackson Country Club who were having a party still during the time when the state was fully dry.
I think when you say elites, you mean the governor.
I mean, governors, lawyers, Mississippi elites basically were in the building, and they decided to have this party, and they brought champagne and wine and liquor, and the next thing you know, somebody was mad about it, and the police came.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an overzealous police officer who decided he was going to go in and clear out all the liquor from the Jackson Country Club, and they did have quite a lot of liquor in there. Yeah, and the governor was there, and the people you could imagine at the country club were not too happy about having their, I think it was over 1,000 bottles of wine and liquor that they had in their club taken out and confiscated. Yeah. And very shortly after that, the prohibition was repealed in Mississippi, and that was kind of a catalyst for it.
Yeah. I mean, shortly, like 3 to 6 months. And they were like, oh, no.
I wonder if that officer was able to keep his job or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't remember how long after that he kept his job.
Really? Yeah. He was like, just put me on desk duty.
Not a popular decision.
Not a popular one. And then, of course, the one that I had mentioned earlier, Nellie Jackson and Natchez' most famous bordello. This was actually something that I wouldn't have never guessed could have happened in small town in Mississippi for an African-American woman during the time that she was running this bordello.
Yeah, Nellie Jackson was in Natchez, and Ryan wrote this chapter, and his conclusion was that she was eccentric in a very old river town that has had a lot of eccentric people living in it. And she just kind of found her niche and was able to, until she was almost 90, she was able to have this boarding house where she would have these women come and stay with her, and they were women from all over the country and all over the world. And, these guests would come and they would...
It's very much out of a Dolly Parton movie. It's very much out of one of those Dolly Parton movies I've seen. But yeah.
They would meet together in the parlor, and then they would retire to their, private quarters. Yeah. And she kept that going for many decades, and it was just kind of accepted, there was a blind eye turned toward it, but she did it for so many years, and unfortunately she met her end in one of the most bizarre.
I know.
A young college student decided, because he was so intoxicated that he couldn't get into her boarding house, that he was going to fill a cooler with gasoline, dump it on the boarding house, and then set it on fire, and he ended up burning up himself and Nellie Jackson and the house. And a very tragic and crazy ending. And she was 87.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah. Like, we waited that long to be able to have to do something like that to her. That's terrible, but she was iconic. Go ahead, Kamel.
Was she ever, her character ever portrayed in a movie? I want to say that I've seen this on her on a movie before, her character.
A major play, I think it was a play in New York City, was written about her.
Okay.
A major play.
Okay.
And maybe a movie too, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, this is so amazing. Okay, last one I'm going to talk about. I can't spoil it because we need everybody to come out to the Mississippi Culture Panel at the Mississippi Book Festival, but the one that I really enjoyed the most was the shortest, Under Sloth, and that's Dave's Dark Horse Tavern. Josh Foreman and Ryan Starrett. Tell me why y'all wanted to be so lazy and slothy for this one that you were like, you know what? The third story in this one, because each Seven Deadly Sin has 3 stories underneath it. And so when I got to this one, I was like, what is this? And then I started reading, I was like, oh, they just didn't want to write a third story under this one.
Yeah, Dave's, I live in Starkville, and anybody that lives in Starkville knows that Dave's is an institution. It's one of our great bars in Starkville, and Dave Hood is a big supporter of the arts. So for that chapter, we were actually there working. We were doing a book signing, and we were also drinking a little beer, so mixing business and pleasure.
Yeah.
And we were telling stories from another book that we wrote, and Ryan decided that he was going to incorporate that into the book. So he put a picture of us and used that as our example of sloth, where we were just kind of chilling a little bit and having some beer at Dave's.
I love it.
Real slothy.
It was real slothy-like. Okay, so the book, it is Wicked Mississippi, from embezzler Edward Cates in his effort to avoid prosecution by faking his own death, to the hoop-skirt damsels of the antebellum South, and a 3-generation struggle for social supremacy. Mississippi knows its way around the 7 deadly sins. And this book is going to take you all the way around it, back through, and you'll be combing it back to tell people stories. This is one of those usually, let me tell you, come on, sit down around the fire. Let me tell you a story. Okay, Josh, how
very interesting.
I know it. Josh, how can more people get in contact with you and Ryan and just try to see if they can get the Wicked Mississippi book? You can come out, of course, to the Mississippi Book Festival, but how can they contact you?
We have a website, foremanStarrett.com. That's a pretty easy way to contact us.
Okay.
And our books are always available at Lemuria in Jackson and Barnes & Noble and Amazon and the normal places. The Square Books in Oxford, I've heard, is carrying our books.
Okay.
So.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. That is Wicked Mississippi. We will be presenting that one on the Mississippi Culture Panel tomorrow at the Mississippi Book Festival, 2:45 until 3:45. But the festival is all day, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. at the Mississippi State Capitol buildings and grounds. It's free and open to the public. This is the 10th year anniversary, and y'all are going to want to be there because I'm going to be there, and Josh is going to be there, and Ryan's going to be there, and we're all going to be there. It's time for us to take a break. Hold on tight, because when we return, we're checking out what's happening around your neck of the woods with a pit stop clip of the newest 10-minute Timeout podcast with Lacey Alexander featuring the legendary Rob J. This is Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio. Welcome back to Next Stop Mississippi. I'm Germaine Flood, in with my traveling partners Java Chapman and Kamel King with Visit Mississippi. And here's what's happening around your neck of the woods, guys. I'm so excited. It's such an exciting let me tell everybody about everything day. That's how I feel today. Y'all ready, Kamel, Java?
Well, get it out. Come on now.
Go.
I'm ready. Okay. It's the 2024 Cruisin' Clinton Car Show coming up next week, Saturday, September 21st, 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Main Street, Clinton. Registration is still open. Again, it's held that day, but guess what? I am going to be Grand Marshal alongside of ASC certified master technician, Coach Charlie Melton. And we are going to be in a clean, old school convertible.
Okay. Now
That's nice.
Thanks.
You're going to have your hair flowing all in the wind?
Blowing. These braids are going to be slanging in the wind.
Well, that's going to be all right. Downtown Clinton?
Yeah,
Okay.
Downtown Clinton, Main Street Clinton. It's probably the one with bricks.
Yeah, they've kind of redone that downtown area. It's real nice.
It is real nice. I went to school at Mississippi College. That's how I know there's bricks down there. But yeah, it's going to be down there. And Main Street Clinton, though, offers events throughout the year, all the time on Main Street that provide fun for the whole family, from their Fresh at 5 summer farmers markets to their annual events like Red Brick Roads, like we've covered before, and Back to the Bricks. These events are part of what makes Clinton such a great place to call home. And this annual car show precedes the one that we'll be going to in October, Cruising the Coast, of course. But this is one of Central Mississippi's premier car shows, and it welcomes car enthusiasts from all over the state. And vintage and classic cars parade through the city of Clinton and park for the show located right there in the historic Old Town. So that's what's going on, y'all, next Saturday, September 21st. I'm excited.
I will be there. I freaking love cars. I'm a car fanatic.
And that is what I own. That's the first thing I learned about you last year. You need to be,
Yes.
we're going to mash up the shows, Java. And the show is going to include Coach Charlie, Kamel talking about his love for cars, and me.
Let's do it. The more the merrier. It's great. It's great.
So if you all would like to see, and hopefully maybe you'll be able to ask Coach Charlie a question in his face while we're out there. But if you would like to see more of Coach Charlie and I, we will be grand marshaling the 2024 Cruisin' Clinton Car Show Saturday, September 21st. Here's what else is happening around your neck of the woods. Thanks, Kamel. It's the 2024 Travel Unity Summit Southeast. That's going to be happening Wednesday, September 18th, 9 a.m. They're excited to be hosting this summit in Jackson, Mississippi, where they will discuss topics related to DEI in the world of travel. And this event will consist of an industry conference that brings together not only the travel industry, but also individuals and organizations interested in making communities more welcoming to people of all backgrounds and abilities. And a youth summit aimed at giving students firsthand knowledge of careers in the travel industry and opportunities to learn about DEI and connect with peers from other schools, backgrounds, and abilities. For more information about that, that's going to be happening at the Jackson Convention Complex Wednesday, September 18th, but you can visit our events page. Here's another something that's happening around your neck of the woods. Have either one of you heard about the War and Treaty, the group, the married couple who sing country music together, and they're African American?
Yeah, I've seen them on a couple of events.
They have been. I mean,
they've been everywhere.
Kamel, this African American couple have been everywhere. If there is an award show, CMT, CMA, anything like that, they are performing on that stage every single time. They are the new it thing for country music, and this is what they're saying about them. With a lion-hearted vocal blend, both roaring with passion and tender to the touch, the husband and wife duo have emerged as one of the most electrifying new acts in American music. Michael Trotter Jr. and Tanya Trotter have captured 3 Americana Music Association awards and more recently 2 Grammy Award nominations for Best New Artist and Best American Roots Song for Blank Page. And the dynamic dynamic couple also received nominations for Duo of the Year by the Academy of Country Music Awards and Vocal Duo of the Year by the Country Music Association Awards. Featured collaborators on Zach Bryan's 2023 hit Hey Driver, and they were revered in Nashville's The Tennessean for being unlike any other act in music. So they will be performing at the MSU Riley Center Thursday, September 19th, 7 p.m. Big heavy hitters here in the state.
Shout out to them. They are doing some big things.
Yes. Wow. I cannot wait. When you can Google them or whatever, you're going to just fall in love with this husband and wife duo. But they're pretty dope. All right, here's what else is happening around your neck of the woods. Mississippi's own Leanne Rhymes will be performing Thursday, September 19th. Okay, tell me something. Is it Bologna or the Bologna Performing Arts Center in Cleveland, Mississippi?
We're going to let you just figure it out real quick.
But my bologna has a first name. It's OSCARBOLOGNA. Then that's how this is spelled.
I know. Call it Bologna.
Bologna, the Bologna Performing Arts Center in Cleveland, Mississippi. Leanne Rhymes is our international multi-platinum selling acclaimed singer and ASCAP award-winning songwriter. She sold more than 48 million units globally. She will be performing Thursday, September 19th at the Bologna Performing Arts Center in Cleveland, Mississippi. Thanks, Kamel, for the alternative pronunciation.
Enough of the funny moments on this show is you enunciating and pronouncing words.
That's right. You know it. Pronunciating. And that's going to be the new word for all of those things. Pronunciating, baby. All right. Here we go. Here's what else is happening around your neck of the woods. Filming October 10th at MPB is going to be the next Mississippi Antique Showcase, but this one is the holiday edition. And tickets to the holiday special filming are available now. We will be filming this holiday special that will air in December, and antique enthusiasts are encouraged to bring holiday treasures, vintage ornaments, retro decorations. You know, you got those snow globe things, you know, the things that they put out in the yard. It's plastic. Yeah. They're plastic figurines.
Yeah, and elves and stuff.
And elves in on shelves and in trees. But bring all of that. Snow globes, figurines, tree toppers. We want to see it. I know you've got it. Go into your garage, blow the dust off of it, because you know what? You never know if it's worth money. And I promise, until you come up there and get it appraised, you do not know. And other storied pieces are welcome for appraisal from October 10th. It's going to be 3 to 8 p.m. An appraisal ticket is available. You can call 601-432-6565, or you can go online to mpbonline.org for more information about that. And finally, what is happening around your neck of the woods? It is the newest 10-minute timeout with Lacey Alexander. But this episode, people, this episode is featuring none other than Rob J. Do I need to introduce him? Do people not know of this man, of this great man?
People
know. Icon.
People know. He's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. He's also the Assistant Athletic Director for Broadcasting and Video Services at JSU. And of course, he literally does it all. You've known him from his time as Sports Director for WLBT, or most recently his work with Jackson State. But this busy broadcaster got his start back on Java's old radio station, Kixie.
I mean, okay.
He got his start on Kixie. You got to work with the legendary Rob J some kind of time. Didn't he stop by?
No, I will say it was an honor to see him. I was on WJMI 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. He was on Kixie with his Saturday morning blues workshop.
With Pops.
And it was just like, man, I am in the same building with Rob J and Pops, 6 a.m. Saturday morning, as the Saturday morning blues workshop.
That's right.
You know, it was kind of surreal a little bit.
That's right. Kamel, tell us your Rob J story.
Oh, man, I've known Rob J since I was born. You know, he's announced and hosted the Jackson Music Awards, who knows how many years. So mine is watching Rob J make, I mean, he is the funniest guy ever and the best impromptu speaker you could ever want to host your event. So I've seen him for all of my years host the Jackson Music Awards and stuff of that nature, and he always just cracks everybody up.
He does.
The man is an icon.
He really does. He does crack everybody up. I got to be blessed with 8.5 years of working with him at Jackson State University, just as colleagues for sure, and even as tighter colleagues when we were in the same department together. And that is my heart. That is my unk. Like people like to call people unk. Rob J, that's unk. That's unk for me. So here is a clip from today's episode that will drop at like 12 or something, right, Java?
Drops at noon.
Drops at noon. If you want to hear the rest of this, which I know you do, you better get on your favorite podcasting app. You can get on the MPB Public Media app. But here it is, the newest 10-minute Timeout with Lacey Alexander featuring Rob J.
You're listening to Next Stop Mississippi. I'm Lacey Alexander, here to give you a small preview of our newest 10-minute Timeout episode, where we talk to the voice of the Jackson State Tigers, Rob J. Here's a little preview. Well, another big change that Jackson State just went through is Tamika Reed just left for Charlotte. Mm-hmm. What I perceive to be good for her, but a big loss for the school. Yeah. How do you anticipate this new coaching staff will do now that she's gone?
Next question. No. You know what? They have a lot to live up to because most of those players left.
Right. Or went with her.
Some went with her, some went to other places. Mm-hmm. And the new coach is Coach Richards, and I think she'll do it. She came from Alabama A&M.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she'll do okay. She'll do a good job. But when she came in, the recruiting season had ended. So they had to really fight and try to find some players. So it may be rough this first year, Lacey. It may be rough. So let me just tell all the Jackson State fans, if you're out there listening, have some patience, okay? Because Jackson State fans don't have no patience. This Thursday night, this past Thursday when they lost to ULM in football, how we lose to a team ain't won no game in 10 games. They 0-8. But a 0-8 ULM team is different than an 0-8 SWAC team. Okay, see, ULM is not losing to Valley and Arkansas Pine and Prairie View. And they're not losing to these people. So Jackson State fans, just pump your brakes a little bit. But yeah, just have a little patience with the basketball team. Now the men's team going to be really good.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
Why do you think so?
Well, I've been watching practice because my office is right outside the arena. And they just came back from Puerto Rico. They played some professional players, and they went 2-1.
Oh, wow.
They won 2, lost 1. And they have some transfers. They have some guys back from injury. They had a lot of guys injured last year. I never seen a team where everybody was injured. Poor Mo Williams, to his credit, they were competitive with the rest of the players they were playing. You know, they were playing. He had to play guys like me, you, Germaine. Who the lady just walked out of there? It was playing those kind of people. So he was competitive, but he has all of his players back. They're going to be really good.
That was Season 2, Episode 2 of the 10-Minute Timeout, which will be available on mpbonline.org at noon today. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio. I'm Germaine Flood, in with my traveling partners, Java and Kamel King. And guess what, guys? I'm super excited about our next guest today. For our final stop of the day, we're in with the best, the greatest, the GOATest choir on planet Earth.
I like that, the GOATest.
The GOATest.
I kind of like that too. Can you introduce us from now on?
Yes.
I love that. The GOATest.
And y'all gonna be scared because I don't know what is the next word that's gonna come out, Yolanda, about it. What's gonna be the next adjective? But they are literally the best choir on earth. It's the Mississippi Mass Choir in the building with us today. I am so excited. Kamel, go on and talk to Yolanda. I'll give you the first leg.
Hi, Kamel.
My friend, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Woo, I mean, we are so honored to have you, to have the mass choir. I mean, you guys are legends and have done anything that a choir could have done in this world. The Mississippi Mass Choir has done it, world renowned.
We appreciate your kind words. We've been doing this for over 36 years now, and I was not an original member, but I've taken on the legacy that those who came before me have, laid that foundation. And I mean, it's such an honor. Germaine and I grew up in the same church.
We did. She was my choir director. Nobody can claim that but me. No, I'm playing. There's a whole bunch of other people who can.
I can honestly say that I never thought I would have the opportunity, but as they say, but God.
I know it. You know what else is but God? That you've known me since I was 20 years old. Yolanda, you've known me since I was 20 years old. You did. And then I raised my babies, your babies, Jada, and all of them. I love them all. So I just love us coming full circle together. You with Visit Jackson, me with Mississippi Public Broadcasting, and then us being able to connect with the Mississippi Mass Choir.
Certainly.
So this is good stuff.
Look, I was thinking your segment before this now has come full circle. We've gone to the booze and the liquor.
I had to. I have to be holistic.
Now we're going to bring them all home.
I got to be holistic. I got to be whole. I knew it was going to come up, and I knew you were going to bring it up. I knew you were going to be like, and I thought you was working, Yolanda. You was listening. You weren't supposed to be listening.
I was working and listening.
You weren't supposed to be. Yolanda, introduce who you brought in with you today to represent.
I brought in Zira Washington. Zira is a very talented member of the choir. She's responsible for creating our website and a lot of the graphics that we portray to the public. So very glad to have her with us this morning.
I just want her hair. Hey, Zira.
Oh, yeah, and fabulous hair.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. How excited are you to be involved with the Mississippi Mass Choir and traveling and hanging out with Yolanda and all of them?
Oh, it's amazing. It has been one of the greatest joys in my life being a member of the Mississippi Mass Choir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yolanda, what's your position? What's your official position with the choir?
I am the marketing director.
Okay. I call you everything. You're the rep of all reps for this choir. Like, I think she does her social media and all now.
Let me shout out Visit Jackson while I'm here. Visit Jackson. Go to our website, visitjackson.com.
Oh wow,
that's right. See, that's how you come full circle as well. Okay. You see.
Right.
Right. Got to keep my day job.
Got to keep the day job. Okay, so y'all are here. We've got a couple of things that have happened. So August 27th, the new album dropped.
Technically August 30th.
Right.
Okay, I'm a couple of days early.
Close enough.
I got the early release.
Malico, they did something unique with our album, and I don't know if it's a trend in the industry, but they started on July 26th releasing a song every Friday on YouTube.
Really?
From our recording.
Yeah.
So it was something unique, something that we weren't really used to, but I think it's been beneficial. The Promise has reached 1 million streams on Pandora.
Come on, y'all.
And so we're very proud of the product. And I can't speak enough about this project. This project is awesome. When I tell you it's awesome, it is awesome. I mean, the songs speak to who we are. And, the title, We Still Believe. We still believe.
I know it.
We still believe in His promise. We still believe that there's only one way home. We still believe that when Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. And there's so many other song titles that just connect to that belief, to that foundational belief.
Mm-hmm. Kamel, you got a question? You got anything you thinking of?
Oh, the Mass Choir has just done so many things, so many projects. Gone all around the globe. I mean, people book you guys everywhere. And there are a lot of mass choirs that are spread throughout the United States. But I would like to say the Mississippi Mass Choir, hands down, is the biggest class act, and I want to say the biggest mass choir as far as popularity. What do you think, Yolanda and Zira, what do you think is made the Mississippi Mass Choir such the top echelon across the nation?
Zuri, you want to take a stab at that?
Sure. I think what separates the Mississippi Mass Choir is we stick to our roots. You know, we have branched out, but we stick to our roots. We're consistent. And when people think of church, they think of robes. They think of foot stomping, down home music. And traditionally, for the last 36 years, that's what we have been consistent. And people want to, they want that feel good music. They want that that when times get hard, you can always depend on the Mississippi Mass Choir to have something in the repertoire that's going to make you feel good, that's going to encourage you, that's going to motivate you, that's going to bring you a word in due season. And we have consistently brought that to every album, every service. Because we don't do concerts, we have service. So I think that's what separates us. And the robe.
I agree.
I was about to say.
And the robe.
That was going to be my answer.
Because the robe is not being used much anymore. So yeah.
We still wear the robes, and it's such a signature of who we are.
Right.
That goes back to some of that tradition. The old mothers, you better put them robes on, right?
Right.
Before you get in the choir stand. And so we represent the choir. We and we are encouraging today even choirs to come back to the choir stand.
Yeah, bring back the choir.
They've got light robe fabric now. It ain't heavy anymore. All the robes ain't heavy fabric.
But to add on to what Zira was saying, we consistently offer hope, encouragement, affirmation.
That's right.
The things that you may be doubting yourself about, we have a song for it.
That's right.
And like you said, when people think of a choir, we are the typical go-to. We are the Coke of choirs, okay?
I love it.
And we don't take that.
Great.
We don't take that for granted.
Not Big K Cola, the Coke.
Not Big K Cola.
Yeah.
Coke.
Yes.
And we don't take that for granted because we believe that there is a responsibility that we have to continue to do what we're doing. Our great founder, Frank Williams, always said that he did not want a choir or an organization to die with him. And we've been able to continue that legacy that he and David Curry started. And the musicianship, there's so many elements of this project that if you have not listened to the Mississippi Mass Choir's new project, I encourage you to go on digital outlets and get the music. It will encourage you and it will lift up your day.
I know it. Make sure y'all get out there. So I was here for this recording, right? This is the one that happened at Word of Life.
That's right.
So I was here for this recording. And then you all have an event coming up, Music from the Masses 2024. That's going to be happening Friday, September 27th, 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. at New Salem Missionary Baptist Church. 3 of the most impactful and influential mass choirs in the nation are sharing the same stage for one night. That includes, of course, who we have here, the Mississippi Mass Choir, who has now spilled into the studio. They are surrounding us. It's them. It's also the Tennessee Mass Choir and the Chicago Mass Choir. Talk about that a little bit, Yolanda. How excited are y'all for that performance?
Oh, we're very excited. We participated last year, and when I tell you it was
phenomenal.
It was phenomenal.
Right.
Absolutely. All the songs we grew up listening to and singing were at that concert. And we look forward to more of the same. Just the nostalgia of being amongst those choirs.
The camaraderie was
unmatched.
It was amazing.
I love it. So if y'all want more information about that, we've got that on our events calendar. And I want to go ahead and get this out of the way so I won't have to do it at the end. We've come to the end of another great trip right before Mississippi Mass Choir performs, okay? I want to thank you all for riding shotgun and today's guests, Josh Foreman, Yolanda Claymore, and the Mississippi Mass Choir for joining us. To submit an event or find out more information about these and what's happening around your neck of the woods, visit mpbonline.org and click the community tab to view SIP events or email events@mpbonline.org. Next Stop Mississippi is produced by yours truly for Java Chapman and Kamel King with Visit Mississippi. I'm Germaine Flood. Right now, though, we are breaking for the legendary, world-renowned Mississippi Mass Choir live in-studio performance. Enjoy. All right.
Now this is a real treat, Germaine.
I know it. I know it.
I don't think this is the first. This is the first time the Mississippi Mass Choir has been to MPB.
I'm excited about it. Is everybody an MPB fan?
Yes.
Y'all can talk. Y'all can talk. They can hear you.
Of course.
All right, here we go.
I pray that you hear me saying I'm being patient, waiting to hear from you. Do what you said you'll do. I pray that you hear me saying I'm being patient, waiting to hear from you. Do what you said you'll do. I am holding to the promise. I am holding to the promise that you make to me. Lord, I still believe. I am holding to the promise. I am holding to the promise that you make to me. Lord, I still believe what you promised me. What you promised me. What you promised me. What you promised me. I will receive it. I will receive it. I will receive it. Lord, I'm ready. Oh, so ready. I will receive it. I will receive it. I will receive it. Lord, I'm ready. Oh, so ready. I will receive it. I will receive it. I will receive it. Lord, I'm ready. Oh, so ready. I will receive it. I will receive it. I will receive it. Lord, I'm ready. Oh, so ready. I am holding to the promise.
All right. I love it. We are holding to the promise. That was the legendary Mississippi Mass Choir. Their newest album, We Still Believe, is out right now. You can pick that up right now, and you can also see them live. Music from the Masses 2024, Friday, September 27th at New Salem Missionary Baptist Church in Mississippi and Memphis, Tennessee. It's Mississippi too. They round the corner. They like family. Again, though, I want to thank each and every single one of you. 20-something people sitting in one room. Give yourselves a round of applause. I am so blessed and grateful that I have had the chance to have the Mississippi Mass Choir here on Next Stop Mississippi. We merging all the Mississippis today. We got Mississippi Book Festival, Mississippi Mass Choir, and Next Stop. It's all about Mississippi, and we are going to do this next week. Next Stop Mississippi, Friday, 10 a.m. for me and Kamel King and Java. You've been listening to MPB Think Radio.
This forecast is underwritten by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. Smarter, better healthcare. More at bcbsms.com.